When it comes to freedom of speech, we know that Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, right from the First Amendment. So, speech and press, what is the difference? Speech generally refers to the immediate communication meant for a temporary audience. It can be words, it can be symbolic, or it can be a combination of the two. That's what we're talking about with speech. Press, on the other hand, generally refers to communication that is published, that is used and reused. It can also be images, it can be words, it can be music, movies, etc. Anything that is copyrighted falls under press. So press are things that are used and reused. Speech is generally referred to as simply a one-time deal. When we're talking about what is protected with freedom of speech and the press, it includes different types of speech. There is what we would call pure speech. That would be the words themselves. But sometimes we can convey an idea without using words. We might just use an action or an image. Symbolic speech is meant to convey a particular idea to a group without using the words themselves. A third type of speech that is protected is what we call speech plus. This is a combination of pure speech as well as symbolic speech. Perhaps chanting while marching, perhaps raising a sign while giving a speech in public. Right? Those are all things that are protected when it comes to freedom of speech. However, some things are not protected under freedom of speech. That is to say, we can't simply say and express everything that we want to. Sedition is not protected under the First Amendment. Sedition refers to the act of inciting a revolt or violence against a lawful authority like the government with the goal of destroying it or overthrowing it. Sedition is not protected under the First Amendment. Defamation is also not protected. Defamation is false and malicious statements that are made which cause harm to a specific person. So false means, it's made up. Malicious means it's meant to cause harm. And if something is false and is meant to cause harm and actually causes harm, that is not protected. Sometimes with defamation, we hear words like libel and slander. Libel is defamation that is written down. So here we're talking about in the press. If something is published that is defaming of a person's character, then that is not protected because it would violate libel laws. In the case of slander, that would be spoken words if somebody is standing up and giving a speech. So defamation, both libel and slander, are not protected. Neither are fighting words. Fighting words are typically words that are intended to incite hatred or violence from a specific target. This is closely related to our ideas with forms of what we call hate speech. All right, so these are not protected. I cannot incite you to violence and then say, whoa, man, freedom of speech. No, it's not protected. Also not protected is obscenity. Obscenity is the use of words or images that strongly offend the morality of the local people. Typically, the court rules that these are words and images that generally lack artistic or scientific value. Obscenity laws are left to the local governments rather than the U.S. government. False advertising is also not permitted in the United States, and it cannot be protected under freedom of speech. I mean, I can't create a product and say, hey guys, it cures cancer. No, that's a bold-faced lie. And of course, there are elements of prior restraint, which are also not protected under the First Amendment. Prior restraint is basically censorship. So there are certain things that we are simply not allowed to publish. Here we're talking about more freedom of the press. For example, it is illegal to publish the names of all of our CIA operatives and their addresses who are involved in actions overseas. Yeah, we kind of don't want that information to be out. The government may also censor publication of where American troops are moving, especially during a military action, because that would cause danger. So there are certain things that the government says, whoa, we're not allowed to publish those for the safety and security of what the government is doing.